Hello, my name is Siddhartha Kulmasi, and I'm applying to be a new residential advisor. So let's just get right into the questions. So for the first question, I think the best way to approach the situation would be to talk to my fellow RAs and ask them just why isn't this working out? I want to cooperate with them and see if we can reach some sort of agreement so that they are able to complete their tasks in a timely manner. And if we can't talk or if we can't reach that sort of agreement, I think at that point it would be best to just report to my superiors and see what their opinion is in the situation. My second question, I think the most uncomfortable conversation I've had is Nee. Zich helpen, waarvan je mag zich zo meester, nou ja, yeah, nearly so we should spot the else in the room that we were in. There's no distracting noises in the background. Die bonus nicht harps das war und so etwas das ist ganz viel schwierig bedoel like this girl better schlimm ja das ist was das ist schon ja but no I want to make sure that I listen to everything that they're saying and validate what they're feeling, make sure I know that I'm taking their input and working it into whatever solution that we end up making. And when we do make our solution, our agreement, I want to make sure that I let them know that I'm following it to a T. And let them feel that our conversation that we have was productive and it actually meant something. I feel like this is also really good advice to give if one of my residents came up to me and said, oh, I need to have some difficult conversation with my teacher or some other friend or something like that. I think that this whole approach is something is some advice I could give to them. So for my third question, this situation is a tough one, but because I understand how it feels to be lonely in college in this new place where you're not really most of the time you're not with anybody you know, which is hard coming from, say, high school where you knew a lot of people, you had friend groups and things like that. So I think the best thing for them to do is to try to engage with some local events, like, I don't know, some movie night or game night or anything that's happening, because that's how I found my friends. It took a bit, I'll admit, I'd say like 2 weeks, but after that I found a great friend group that I feel really connected with, and I feel that would work for them as well. About their situation of not going to classes though, the roommates reporting they're not going to classes, I feel like that is something that could suggest some underlying mental health issue. And if that's the case, if I feel like they need that sort of professional help or engagement, I'd be more than happy to link them to CAPS or tell them to go to the counseling office that's by the health center, because in the end there is only so much that I can do, and I think linking them to some professional help would be good in certain situations. For my fourth question, I feel like a good first step to building relationships with my residents is to make them feel like they are in a safe environment, and an environment where they can engage with me not as just some, where they can look at me as not just some big supervisor that's trying to get them in trouble or anything like that, but as a fellow resident, as somebody who's living with them, who understands what they're going through. And I think the best way to do this would be by making a good first impression on them on the first day, making sure that they know who I am and how they can approach me for anything, and by making a fun environment for them to look at. Something small like having a fun like hallway door would be a great way to do that and try to set up that environment for them to engage with me. And if they want for more personal relationships, I think a great way to do that would be hosting some events in Merrill. Something like some game night, movie night, because I feel, like I said before, that's a great way for any residents to make new friends, and I feel like in that sort of environment they can sort of talk to me like I am just one of them. I think it's a great way for them to engage with me and form a good relationship. Now, if there's some difficulties, if there's any resistance, if I'm having a hard time speaking to me, I feel like a good way to approach that would be to give them space and let them know that the door's always open to talk with me if they want to. And let them know that they can trust me. So, and for my fifth and final question, in order to demonstrate core values of social justice and equity, I would have to make sure our residents feel like a safe space for everybody, no matter what their background or identity is. I want all residents to know that they have access to campus resources, like counseling, tutoring, advising, no matter what background they come from. And I feel like it should stay that way, and I want to make sure that it stays that way, because in the end, our differences are something to be celebrated, and I think a good way to let our residents know that what makes them unique is something to be celebrated is events like the Queer Mixer that we had this fall. As a member of the queer community, going to that event made me feel really special. It made me feel like I'm not alone, and that there's a lot more people that I can relate to and engage with, and I feel that that's a really important feeling for our residents to have. Thank you for your time.